Have you ever stopped to think that some of the things that seem harmless, even recommended by friends, influencers, or internet forums, may be sabotaging your intimate health without you realizing it? That's that. There are women applying petroleum jelly thinking they are protecting themselves, using toys without cleaning properly, and even thinking that vaginal douches are synonymous with hygiene. It's not your fault. The truth is that there is an avalanche of misinformation when it comes to the vagina, vaginal pH, vaginal flora, and intimate hygiene. And that's exactly why this video is going to be a game changer. We're going to show you bluntly the 5 things you should never put in your intimate region. And we're not just talking about exaggeration or preciousness. We're talking about health, safe pleasure, and avoiding serious problems like bacterial vaginosis, vaginal infections, and even pelvic inflammatory disease. And believe me, what you will hear here, your gynecologist would hardly speak so clearly. The most curious? Some of these practices are so ingrained in everyday life that they seem normal. But what is common is not always right. If you are over 40, 50, 60 years old and want to keep your intimate health up to date with dignity, pleasure, and autonomy, then continue here. Because what you're about to discover can save you years of discomfort, silent pain, and even unnecessary hospitalizations. And I'll warn you, the first item on the list will surprise you: Vaseline and vaginal health risks. No one talks about it openly, but it is necessary to shed light on the subject. Vaseline, despite seeming harmless, can be a silent trap for women's intimate health. Because it is not soluble in water, it creates a fatty barrier that the body cannot easily eliminate. Result? Residues accumulated inside the vagina, altering the vaginal pH and paving the way for vaginal infections that many women have no idea where they came from. And there's more. This product degrades latex condoms, putting at risk not only the integrity of safe sex, but one's own confidence during the act. Anyone who has ever used Vaseline thinking it was a quick fix will understand the drama. Many women without adequate information turn to it as a lubricant, unaware that they are putting the vaginal flora at risk. Unlike water-based lubricants, which naturally integrate with vaginal lubrication and keep the vaginal pH balanced, petroleum jelly messes everything up and even contributes to the appearance of conditions such as bacterial vaginosis and the dreaded pelvic inflammatory disease. You know that discomfort that you can't explain? You can start there. Replacing petroleum jelly with a good flavored or neutral water-based lubricant may seem like a detail, but it is a giant step towards preserving intimate hygiene and pleasure safely. If you choose, opt for brands that respect the delicacy of the intimate region, without parabens, without exaggerated fragrances, and that are compatible with condoms. An example, the lubricant with aloe vera and vitamin E, which moisturizes without harming. And that's just the beginning, because when we talk about women's intimate health, every detail counts. And speaking of details that no one tells you, cross-use sex toys can be dangerous. Sex toys are wonderful allies of pleasure, but cross-use, especially between regions such as the anus and vagina, is a minefield for women's intimate health. Intestinal bacteria, such as the dreaded Escherichia coli, can migrate straight to the vagina with a simple carelessness in hygiene. And the body feels it. The vaginal flora collapses, the vaginal pH destabilizes, and without the woman realizing it, infections such as bacterial vaginosis or even pelvic inflammatory disease can appear silently. Does it seem exaggerated? So imagine the following: a sex toy used in anal sex and soon after introduced into the vagina without washing. It's like opening the door of your house to someone who has spent the night in the sewer. The comparison is strong, but real. The risk is doubled when these toys are shared between partners or stored without adequate protection. Sanitizing with neutral soap, sterilizing with boiling water, when the material allows, and using condoms on toys are simple practices that save lives and vaginas. Now, when pleasure meets information, everything changes. It is possible to use sex toys in a safe and fun way without giving up intimate hygiene. There are even products developed exclusively to make cleaning these items easier, such as antibacterial sprays suitable for erotic toys. Choosing materials like medical silicone and avoiding porous ones also helps. After all, vaginal health and fun don't have to be on opposite sides. And speaking of choices that seem harmless, but hide traps, flavored lubricants are not safe. The idea sounds fun. Strawberry, vanilla, mint. But what few people tell you is that flavored lubricant can be a villain disguised as a sweetie. Many of these products contain artificial colors, sugars, and fragrances that irritate vaginal tissue, alter vaginal pH, and directly affect vaginal flora. Result? Bacterial vaginosis, recurrent vaginal infections, and an unwanted visit to the gynecologist. Just because something smells good doesn't mean it should go into the vagina. Constant use of these flavored lubricants, especially during oral and vaginal sex, is one of the shortest paths to an endless cycle of inflammation. They deregulate intimate hygiene and create an environment conducive to fungi and bacteria proliferating. An example? Lubricants with glycerin. It sounds harmless, but this ingredient is like a buffet for fungi, especially Candida. If the woman already has a history of candidiasis, the problem is even worse. And the worst, many products on the market don't even inform the ingredients properly. That's why, when choosing a lubricant, it's best to follow the line of less is more. Water-based, fragrance-free, pH-balanced lubricant, and if possible, gynecologically tested. There are even brands with chamomile extract or hyaluronic acid, which, in addition to not harming, also moisturize the intimate region. Pleasure can, and should, go hand in hand with care and wisdom. And if creativity between four walls leads you to explore new ideas, there's an item in the bathroom that definitely shouldn't be in this game. Electric toothbrushes are not intimate devices. It sounds like a joke, but it's true. There are those who use electric toothbrushes as an improvised substitute for sex toys. And this is where the danger lies. The vibrating bristles, created for teeth and gums, were not designed for the delicate tissue of the vagina. Misuse can cause micro-lesions, which go unnoticed at the moment, but which become open doors to vaginal infections. A small wound is enough for the vaginal floor to be completely destabilized. In addition, few people consider the hygiene factor. The brush, exposed to the bathroom environment and used daily in the mouth, carries colonies of bacteria that, when transported to the intimate region, generate serious imbalances in the vaginal pH. The risk of developing bacterial vaginosis or even pelvic inflammatory disease increases considerably. And let's face it, no orgasm is worth this bill in the doctor's office afterwards. There are a multitude of safe sex toys made with medical-grade silicone, designed to respect women's intimate health and body anatomy. Investing in a suitable, certified, and easy-to-clean product is an act of self-care. After all, intimate health is also about smart choices. And since we're talking about products that seem to help, but cause more harm than good, there's one item that many women use, thinking they're cleaning themselves. Vaginal douches disrupt natural balance. Douching seems synonymous with hygiene, doesn't it? But what looks like cleanliness is actually a biological disaster in disguise. The vagina is a self-cleaning organ. Yes, it cleans itself, and masterfully. When a woman uses vaginal douches frequently, she ends up eliminating the good bacteria that form the vaginal flora, responsible for keeping the vaginal pH balanced and infections far away. And the result? A gaping invitation to candidiasis, bacterial vaginosis, and more. Many believe that douching removes waste after sex or menstruation, but the body already has a natural elimination system. When you interfere, especially with water jets and chemicals, you're pushing germs inside instead of getting them out. A practical example? Douching after using sex toys, thinking you're cleaning it, when in fact you're spreading even more bacteria. The consequence can be uterine inflammation or even pelvic inflammatory disease. If the idea is to take care of women's intimate health, the focus should be on simpler and more efficient habits. Wash the outside of the vulva with warm water and a mild intimate soap, without dyes, exaggerated perfumes, or alcohol. No electric toothbrush, invasive douches, or petroleum jelly. The key word is balance. There are even specific soaps that help maintain vaginal pH without harming. And speaking of choices that often go unnoticed, but can change everything, now that you know these shocking truths, tell me, how many of these practices have you seen someone doing without even imagining the danger? The time has come to turn the tide. Your female intimate health can no longer be treated with neglect, guesswork, or tips from the internet. It's in your hands, literally, to avoid vaginal infections, protect your vaginal flora, and keep your vaginal pH balanced with conscious choices. Simple attitudes, such as changing petroleum jelly for a water-based lubricant or abandoning vaginal douches altogether, can change everything. And now I want to know, which of these 5 practices shocked you the most? Or better, which one did you already think was correct? Tell me in the comments. If you like this content and learned something new, type WISE down here. Now, if you didn't like it and think it can be improved, type NAV, so I'll know exactly how to deliver even better content next time. Oh, and don't forget, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and share this video with those who need to open their eyes about intimate health. Here, knowledge is power, and when it comes with lightness, clarity, and impact, it transforms lives.